Hello everyone, welcome back to our Python series. Today we are diving into the world of file handling, a crucial aspect of programming in Python. But before we delve into the details, let's take a moment to understand why file handling is so important. In any programming language, the ability to read from and write to file is essential for many real-world applications. Whether it is processing data from a text file, saving user preferences, or logging information, file handling allows our programs to interact with the external world beyond the confines of memory. In this video, we will cover the file handling in Python, including opening, reading of file, writing of file, and the closing file. We will explore different modes of file accesses, error handling techniques, and best practices to ensure efficient and robust file operation in your program, which is Python program. So whether you are a seasoned Python developer looking to refresh your knowledge or a beginner eager to learn, join me as we demystify file handling in Python. So let's dive in, but before that, if you have not already, make sure that after this video you will become the master of file handling in Python. So alright everyone, let's get started our video, and our topic is file handling in Python. So this is our marker and this is our topic. So the first topic is file IO. What is the meaning of this IO? So IO means input, and I means input and O means output. Okay everyone. So I mean input and O means output. So what we will learn in input and output of file. So Python provides several ways to manipulate files. Today we will discuss how to handle files in Python. So the first is opening a file. Before we can perform any operations on a file, we must first open it. Python provides the open function. So this is the open function to open a file. It takes two arguments. Okay, so it takes two arguments. It is important to remember the name of the file and the mode of the file. So the name of the file and the mode of the file. Mode in which the file should be opened. So there are many modes. You can see here modes in file. So the mode can be R for reading, W for writing, and A for appending. Appending means adding the file or characters or words in the last of the file, as we know that in the methods of list. Here is an example of how to open a file for reading. So this is the example of how to open file. So this is our Python code to open and then read the file. So this is our variable f, and we store this value in this variable. So the code is open, and this is your file name, then txt. This is your syntax of your file, which is a text file, and then this is your mode, and this is R for read a file. Okay, Now first we will erase everything. So okay, by default the open function returns a file object that can be used to read from or write to the file depending on the mode. Okay, modes in file. So there are so many modes in file. One by one we will read it. There are various modes in which we can open files. First mode is read. This mode opens the file for reading only and gives an error if the file does not exist. So it gives an error, and when it gives an error if the file doesn't exist. This is the default mode. So this is default mode. No need to write R, but we can write because for better readable of code. So this is the default mode if no mode is passed as a parameter. Next mode is write. So what is the work of write? This mode opens the file for writing only, okay, and creates a new file if the file does not exist. So it is also very important, it creates a file if the file does not exist. And there is one more mode which is here, append. This mode opens the files for appending only and creates a new file if the file does not exist. Okay everyone, alright. So I hope that you have hopefully understood. Let's take a closer look to its definition. Now next mode, which is create. How to create a file? You can use X character to create a file. This mode creates a file and gives an error if the file already exists. So it gives an error if the file already exists. So it's also very important to remember. Now the next mode, which is text, or we can say that T mode. Apart from these modes, we also need to specify how the file must be handled. T mode, so this is T mode, is used to handle text files. T refers to the text mode, so full form of T is text mode. There is no difference between R and RT. So what is R and what is RT? R for read and RT for means read a text file. Or there is no difference between also W and WT. W means write and WT means write a text file. Since text mode is the default, as we know that because text mode is the default mode is R, which is read, and opening for reading text, synonym of RT. Okay, so we can also use RT read a text file instead of R. And the last mode, which is binary. So binary is used to handle binary files. Binary files like images, PDFs, etc. So alright everyone, that you have hopefully understood. So let's take a closer look to this definition modes also. Okay, now let's move to our next topic, which is reading from a file. So how to read a file using Python code? So here you can see the Python code. First, what is this? Once we have a file object, we can use various methods to read from the file. The read method reads the entire contents of the file and returns it as a string. So it returns the file as a string characters, words, or a token of words. So anything but it is written as a string. It written as a string. Okay. And what it written? So it returns the entire contents of the file. This is the code. And this is also now okay. This is our code. First, okay, this is similar to this code as we will discuss in this topic. So everyone no need to worry about this. We will also code it to choose the notebook for better understanding. Okay. So the code is f equal to open myfile.txt and then specify your mode, and the mode which is R for read a file, text file, and then f dot read and then parenthesis, and then print your variable name, which is where you have stored your code. So this is the variable contents. Now writing to a file. So how to write a file? To write a file, we first need to open it in write mode. So this is same code as we have discussed in the previous slide. Okay. So we have to only change the mode. Instead of R, now we will use W for write. We can use the write method to write to a file. So you can write a file using this code f equal to open myfile.txt and then specify your mode, which is write, and then f dot write and what you want to write. So we want to write hello world, and this code will automatically write hello world in the txt file. Keep in mind that writing to a file will overwrite its contents. So it is very important. Writing to a file will overwrite its content. Overwrite means delete its content. If you want to append to a file instead of overwriting, you can open it in append mode. Okay, so we will use append mode to write something. So the next mode is closing a file. How to close a file? So it is very important to close a file after read it. It is important to close a file after you are done with it. This releases the resources used by the file and allows the other programs to access it. So to close a file, you can use the close method. So this is our close method. How to close a file? So this is the code f.close and you can close your file. So first we will read the file and do something with the file. Okay, if you want to do something in the file. And what is this with statement? Alternatively, you can use the with statement to automatically close the file after you are done with it. Okay, so no need to write again and again this code. You can use with statement to automatically close the file, and this is very good option to close your file. You can use with statement. So how to use with statement? So this the code appear on your screen with open myfile.txt, and then you specify your mode, which is RSF, and here you can do something with the file. So alright everyone, now you have hopefully something understand about reading, writing and closing, and we will also code it, but read the definitions. So opening a file, and then modes in file, and there are 6 modes in file, and then we have discussed reading from a file, and this is the code appear on your screen, and we have also discussed writing a file and then closing a file, and this is the with this statement. So first we will erase everything. This is our eraser, and okay, now so it is very important that with a statement automatically close the file after you are done with it, and this is the code. So okay,